it was unavoidable. They were all around her. And,
same type craft, same type phenomena.
Both craft and well, there's one incident with a musician that you might know. He's kind of out of vogue now, but he was very hot for a long time, named Johnny Rivers.
Oh, Johnny Rivers is a rock and roll legend, so to speak.
Definitely a legend.
Yeah.
And she and he had gone out to the Mojave Desert in California and had a close encounter, and a light being actually came out of a light craft and started walking towards them with his hand outstretched. And according to her, and again, this is all according to her, he panicked and jumped in his car and took off.
Johnny split.
Huh?
Johnny split.
Yeah, and so there she was alone in the desert.
Nice
and
guy.
The only sort of evidence I have of that probably did happen is that we happened to be in a restaurant in Hollywood one day, and she saw him sitting at a table and went over and started screaming at him, and he looked sheepishly down and, was ignoring her.
She read in the riot act.
Yeah. Which is understandable. I wouldn't like that to happen to me either.
Johnny Rivers. Well, I can't remember what he sang, but I do remember the name.
There's a great spiritual album called Realization, which is hard to get, but it had some great lyrics like "Look to Your Soul." And
it'd come after the desert encounter?
I don't know, actually.
I'll bet it might have.
It very well could have. I did hear that he started doing actual songs about UFOs and aliens and things like that later in his life.
Johnny Rivers. Seems to me he was playing at a place in Hollywood called the Whiskey A Go-Go.
Oh, probably.
For a long time.
Yeah.
I forget.
He had a whole string of hits, and that what actually happened with him, he got involved in the business end, and he started producing. He produced The Fifth Dimension and a lot of other
so he did pretty well for himself.
Oh, yeah.
As they say.
He became sort of a right-hand man in the record business before the corporations took over.
And boy, did they. Now, this woman...
When that happened, of course, music changed. It became a business, a bottom-line thing. And
it became all product, no more art.
And short-lived contracts where people can get 5 Grammys one year and you never hear from them again.
And they all got paid with net. That's that magic word.
We're
going to give you 50% of the net here after all of our costs.
Paying for the limos, and they're paying for the recording studios, and
that's
a lot of them don't know it.
That's right. Whenever you see net in the contract or a contract that is going to constitute your pay, your compensation, your remuneration, run.
Yeah.
Forget that. If you see gross, then you might want to talk, but forget the word net. Oldest trick in the book.
Sign a $6,000 2-year deal.
All right. Now, John, how many times have you seen craft in your life, would you say? Just take a wild guess.
Maybe
dozens?
50.
Yeah, several dozens.
Yeah. And I'm not looking for them, and I'm not really into it, but again, these things happen to me all the time. And that's seeing things, too. I mean, we started having abduction experiences at some point, too, and that's just continued on.
When you say we, you're talking about you.
Well, a number of people. It was a strange thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of this before, because you're more aware of this stuff than I am, I think, but we were in an RV, and I was with students and my family, and we picked up a friend who said that she'd been abducted through her whole life.
All right.
And that night, it happened. I was, maybe because of my meditation training or whatever, I'm more aware and able to pull out of this paralysis thing, but all of a sudden in the middle of the night I had all these grays like working on me, and I had to use my will to fight to surface, like coming out of a paralysis sleep.
Right.
And as soon as I did, they split. But the next day, everybody in the RV had marks, very strange marks. Most of us had 6-pointed star, like needle dots on our knees, and one person had a long, maybe 2.5, 3-inch long zigzag across the knee. And ever since that, it's continued to happen.
to you and that same group of people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Graves. Interesting to hear about knees. I don't recall hearing too many knee jobs before. On the kneecap? On the front of the knee? The back of the knee?
Yeah, on the front of the knee, the kneecap area, yeah.
Huh. Most interesting.
But a couple weeks after that, I got something done to my ear, which was a whole other thing. I had extreme ear pain, and it was bleeding, and...
You didn't just get your ear pierced?
No.
I didn't think so.
I went through a series of... first, I went to an old trusted chiropractor friend who was more medically oriented, and he looked in my ear and said it looked like... he did some kind of a pressure test, too, and he said I had an 8-inch long surgical scar and a new eardrum, and the old eardrum wasn't working, and the new eardrum was.
Did you have a ruptured eardrum before?
Yeah. But
so
not associated with it.
Huh. So it wasn't just a simple needle in the ear, a probing, a piercing. It was some kind of surgery.
Oh, I'll tell you what happened with the MDs said after the break.
Good. All right. That's fascinating. The whole RV taken at one time. Yeah, we've had reports of mass abductions before. Not too many reports of knee work, though, like that. Interesting. Be right back with Jon Peniel in just a couple minutes. That's right. Johnny Rivers, thank you, Lawrence, did Secret Agent Man. That was his big hit, one of them. All right. Trivia time. We'll be right back with Jon in a minute.